I know, I know. Maybe she can.
Small group you did. Congressman Meeks. Yes. Yeah, Congressman Meeks. Yes. He's right back there. I'm gonna bring him back. I was gonna bring him back. Okay. No problem. Thank you.
I want to pass the microphone to. What is your name?
Yeah, but I showed her it's a mess.
Maxine Smith. Oh, yeah, so she wasn't feeling good. Oh, yeah. Girl. That's why I go
Some of these people who are delegates who are not getting in to find out what they think about not being able to get in.
No way. That's not this man bag down, girl. I am. I put this right on. You want to come up here and get here? I will certainly do. Oh, the bag. Who you guys with?
NPR, PBS. Delegates?
There's a lot of press out there.
Benny Thompson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Mississippi also. Yeah. Yeah. We're located on the campus of Jackson State University. Actually. Oh, did you really? Okay.
Now my sister lives in Charlotte.
Okay.
Both of us went to Jackson State. My mom went to Jackson State.
Oh, really? Okay.
You mean to tell me they don't have a special place for the delegates to come through? They got to come through all the routes?
Well, many of them, some and it's sort of packed in there already. So.
Because they said they're all delegates. It seemed like they would have had a special place.
Yeah. Delegates?
Go that way. I would think they would have a special way to be able to get it.
Keep trying to interview Donald Trump.
Well, call your I'm ma'am, I understand. I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna push you. I hear you. I respect you. I'm sorry. But how did she get up? She didn't get She's not. She said, "Can I get in as a delegate?" I knew she was. She was shooting around, jumping in front of everybody.
You're on Valley staff?
No, I'm not on Valley staff. There's a lot of folks out here. See, a lot of people out here. Well, can I tell you something? This arena is very small. What they did, they crammed everything. The situation in the stadium messed it all up. Yeah. So everybody's told. I told you all I had to do. All I had to do was
Make a space for these people leaving. You have to make a space.
yeah, this is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
I know. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm giving. Why is she up there if she's not even a delegate? Move her back.
Well, who gets you guys?
She's the one in the white. Yeah. She talked to the one in the white. Those two.
This is L.A. Warren at WJSU for the News Now update. It seems that things are getting pretty chaotic here. Right at the Time Warner Cable Arena, we have a rush of people who are trying to get in right now, but unfortunately, as you can see, the Secret Service is out here, and police from every walks of life is here, and so we're trying to see exactly what is going on here. People who are delegates as well as people who are had tickets to this event are trying to squeeze into the Time Warner Cable Arena. But it looks like there may not be enough room for all these people who have credentials. And the situation is really, really fluid in that it looks like people are really getting a little frustrated here. So if you look back into this area and see the Secret Service trying to pull people back as well as other staffers, and there's a rush. I just spoke with one woman who works with the White House Press Corps, and she's trying to finagle her way in, but she's also been stopped. In addition, beyond that, we have people in the back of me. There's got to be several hundred of people in the back of me are trying to get in. So situation is really tense, and we're hoping that security will be able to prevent a stampede. And right now we don't know exactly what's going to go on because the event with Vice President Biden as well as with President Barack Obama is going to be taking place later on tonight. And we still have several hours before they even take the stage, but people are still trying to force in. And as we know it now, it looks like the fire marshal is going to really have to put his foot down and make sure they're getting a head count now. So everything's going to fall back on what the fire marshal says in terms of getting people into the Time Warner Cable Arena. So we will continue to report this situation and try to get people involved or get them some kind of way maneuvered through this process and hoping that we can avoid being crushed as well. This is L.A. Warren reporting for WJSU.
But you can have emergencies too. You never know what, you know.
You said you were a JSU alumnus, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
The whole time you're going to be looking at him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And also joining us today, what's your name?
Ella Highland.
Spell your name, Ella.
ELLAHIGHLAND.
Okay, Ella is here also at the Time Warner Cable Arena, and she is trying to get into the center so that she can also get a chance to hear President Barack Obama as well as Vice President Biden. What do you make of the situation now that you found out that you cannot get in?
Well, I think it could have been a little better organized outside. I'm not sure how the inside is going, but outside I'm seeing some organizational skills that could have been used a little better than what I'm accustomed to seeing.
So it looks like you may not get a chance to get in. How do you feel about that?
Well, as long as I'm standing here, I had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to get in, but as long as I'm here just outside, I feel like I'm part of history just being outside to witness that our President Obama will be speaking, and hopefully, I'm hoping that I can hear him or see him on a monitor. But I'm not upset that I can't see him on the inside.
Well, there is a monitor being shown at the Convention Center at 4th and College, and it's only 2 blocks down, actually. So people who are trying to get in will be able to see it. So apparently you did not know about that.
Didn't know about that. No. Didn't know about that because I traveled from Maryland to here. And I traveled here yesterday I thought I was going to have an opportunity to actually hear him speak. But unfortunately, because of the bad weather, they had to reschedule where where President Obama was going to be speaking.
Yeah. Now, as we mentioned, you are an alumnus of Jackson State University.
Yes.
Now, when did you finish at Jackson State?
Oh, gee. 1969.
And you are, and you just happen to be traveled here for the conference. Is that right?
My sister lives here. She's also a Jacksonian. My mother also finished in the year 1954. So her 2 daughters and my mom both we are Jacksonians. Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Ella. Are you optimistic about the future, and in spite of all the things that have been going on as it relates to the economy? How do you view things right now?
Well, I actually feel that the economy is doing better than what 4 years ago. I'm sure that there can be some improvement, and from hearing the president speak, and also hearing President Clinton speak, that the economy is doing better, and I really hope so. So
what is your top political issue in this election?
Well, I think my top political issue is that I would like to see, as everyone else, I would like to see more jobs, employment, because I do have some friends who have been unemployed for several months and even a year or two. However, because I am living in the Washington, D.C. area, I was able to get a job after I lost my job with IBM. So I'm finding that quite a few people, it depends on what area you are in, that you will be able to get, you know, a job. And I'm finding that to be, well, it was really easy for me. I have actually got a job within 1 week after I was let go. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
You answered those 3 questions from yesterday?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I'm going to ask you another question.
Just 3.
Okay. So I have another question for you, Ella. Do you think the political system is broken? Do you think the political system is broken?
No, not really. And when you ask that, that's a distinct question you ask me. Do I think the political system is broken? I mean, I don't think so. I think that the system is in need of some, how shall I say it? It's in need of, I believe, of leadership like President Obama. And why I say that is because 4 years ago, I remember that there was a lot going on with the wall, and President Obama, actually, his leadership has actually come in and has ended the war, even though we may have a few soldiers still there. He has made a significant awareness there where he's bringing our troops home. So I don't, when you said that has it broken? I think we're living in a different time right now, and I think that we need to focus on the youth and who's going to carry this country in the future. And if anything is broken, we need to look more towards more of a leadership where we can actually push our younger people forward and not backwards. And if it is broken, if we do elect candidate Mitt Romney, I think it will actually break the political barrier here.
Well, I guess you really much answered my question. I wanted to ask you, what is the difference between the 2 top candidates? Now, you mentioned the war in Afghanistan, bringing home the soldiers and so forth. Are there any other issues that you see that divide President Barack Obama from Mitt Romney?
Any other issues that provide? Well, I have been actually, I actually watched the Republican convention, and I actually heard Mr. Romney speak, and I am actually for women's rights, number one, and I am also for the. Is it the gay rights or whatever? I am for that because I think that everyone who lives in this country should be able to feel free to be whatever they want. I feel that every single person here contributes to this country, and if we have we have people who are in the Army and the military, and I think they should be actually honored. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll let me give you my.
Okay, I was going to say, let me see so I can find out.
Yeah. You could be with the DNC. I know you with the DNC.
Yeah, we're not allowed.
That's why I said
That's my turn.
I know.
I'll be out of job.
I know. We don't want to get you in trouble.
But I'm not so sure for security. Any outdoor facility is good for the president.
Right.
Any president.
That's true.
See, the next threat, I think, will be running about another 25 senators. This country would be shut down. Yeah. Really mobilize this country. You can get anything. Just got to have a job.
How many people are in the bathrooms and out in the, and they're trying to get a count before they open it up again.
Oh, okay.
And so they may open it like they did last night, which I don't know. I wasn't out here last night when this happened.
Well, let me get my mic set up and get you squared away. All right.
So are you a student?
Actually, no, I'm with the professional NPR station located on Jackson State campus.
Okay.
Although I'm doing double work with the campus organization as well as with NPR. So give me your name once again.
NPR is great. We use it in Hawaii all the time.
Yeah. Okay, what's your name?
Representative Cindy, C-I-N-D-Y, Evans.
E-V-A-N-S?
E-V-A-N-S.
Okay, all right. And you're a delegate from what? You said what?
Yes, Hawaii.
Hawaii. Oh, right.
Where Barack Obama
Oh, yeah, yes,
was born and
absolutely.
raised.
Okay. All right.
Just stay right there. Don't move. Okay.
Okay.
You can go on with the interview, but don't. I don't want you in her shot.
Okay.
So just stand right there.
I'm gonna stand back a little bit.
No, you don't have to stand too far back. Because I don't want to push anybody back. Okay. Anytime you're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And you're gonna look at him the whole time.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay, I'm with Congresswoman Cindy Evans. She's a delegate from Hawaii. Welcome to WJSU. We're happy to have you on our program. Congressman Evans, one thing I want to know, how do you feel if you are unable to get into the Time Warner Arena?
Well, I'm pleased to say that all the TV stations are doing a fabulous job of covering this event, and I hope everybody out there is watching it because it's very significant. People need to watch things like this to learn about the candidate, learn about the platform, and what the Democrat Party stands for. So I'm hoping that people watch it, but if I get stuck, I'll have to go watch it somewhere.
Well, and Congressman Evans is from Hawaii, and one of the things I want to know from you is, what do you think Barack Obama will say tonight?
Well, first, I got to tell you, I'm a state representative, not a congressman. So there is a big difference for those that are watching. There's 51 state representatives and 25 senators in Hawaii, and I'm a state representative from the Big Island of Hawaii. So thank you. I think Barack Obama is going to talk about what he would like to see happen in the next 4 years and how collectively that America can come together, kind of like a big team. It's a team effort to accomplish anything that we're going to do in America. And I think he's going to be that captain of the team. I think he's going to talk about strategy and what's to be accomplished and how we have to do it together. It has to be governors and the policymakers. I think he'll talk about Congress quite a bit, about he needs Congress to sit down and work with him. The big words, even in Hawaii we're talking, the big words this year is cooperation and collaboration is what we talk about in our campaigns in Hawaii.
Yeah. Now, having said that, would you say, and some people say that the system is broken, do you disagree with that notion?
Well, I like differences of opinion. I like, in a good debate, I like disagreement. I think that's good because hopefully you hear the other side, you hear different sides of the discussion, because sometimes you just don't understand when you pass a policy how it might affect a certain group of people. But in the end, if you stalemate and keep status quo and you don't move forward, you're not doing anybody any good. And sometimes when you move forward, it is not perfect. Generally, you can't you can't strike 100% when you pass these policies. But the thing is, you've got to move America forward. That's what it's all about. And so, the stalemate and not accomplishing anything is not a good idea. Compromise, finding a common ground, giving here, giving there, whatever it is, but you got to move us forward.
It sounds like you're rather optimistic about the future then.
Oh, I'm always optimistic because I believe in people. And in Hawaii, even if government gets stuck, I go out and talk to the person, all my constituents, I talk to them, and man, when I meet people and I understand their talents and their gifts and their abilities, it's like, oh my God, the world, we can do anything because people are so talented. It's just like anything. You have to have goals, you have to have leadership, you have to have visions. You need someone to set it, rally us behind it, and then we move forward. But the talent is here.
So when you look at the two candidates at the top of the ticket, the Republican, of course, Mitt Romney, as well as looking at the Democrat, President Barack Obama. Now, what separates these two candidates in your eyesight?
Well, that's a really good question because, I think all of us have our own path in life and we come from our own life experiences. And I believe both of them have a good heart, and they believe in people. But in terms of the circles that you run in and how you feel you can move things forward. I think Romney runs in a different circle than Barack Obama, and so the influences and the partnerships are different. It's just the way it is. What you're hoping, and I think Barack Obama has the ability, and that's why I dislike a lot about where I see the Republicans today, is that the Republicans don't want to bring people at the table and create the partnership. They're a little more exclusive. You know, it's like their little group, whatever it is kind of an exclusive group, and they don't believe in inclusion as much. And I think Democrats have always been about inclusion, bringing more people to the table.
Now, Representative Evans, what would you say is your top issue in this election cycle?
Creating jobs, the economy. I mean, without a doubt, you know, the economy is just so critical, but there's so many pieces to it. Higher education, workforce development. You know, we're moving into a new age. We're in the information technology age. We have to retool our schools. We have to retool our higher education. We have to teach our kids the skill sets that they're going to need for the new workforce that's here, you know. So workforce development is a huge piece of it. The other thing is I'm a baby boomer. We're all retiring. So guess what? One of the big growth industries that we got to put a lot of money in and make sure it's solid is healthcare industry. Why? Because we're growing old. And we're getting into chronic illness age. And there's many of, I mean, we're retiring like by droves every month. And I mean, we're going to have a huge impact on healthcare in America. So, you know, this is big.
Okay, and that was State Representative Cindy Evans of Hawaii. And as we well know, that is President Barack Obama's home state. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the cities.
He apologizes, right? He's not speaking for the committee. But the fire marshal has said it's over capacity, and they're not reopening it. Period. For anyone, right? Regardless of who you are, regardless of what pass you have, regardless of anything. He apologizes. He said it was embarrassing, but he doesn't want everybody standing here all night. So, all right. So, stop with that on TV. All right. Thank you. I'm just passing it on. Pass it back. Pass it back. Not tonight.
People can't get in, and they just embarrassed that all these people are trying to get in. This to happen because when they shut down the stadium because of the rain, we knew that it was only going to be about 20-some thousand people. Everybody knew that going in, but the delegates probably, they thought they were going to be able to get in. Yeah, and that's the thing. They can't even get in now.
That's the embarrassing.
Yeah, and some people left, and now they can't get back in. So.
Hundreds of seats at the Bell Theater. That was what hosted a watch party as well. But that is the option right now, guys. I'm sorry. It's not opening up. So Tom Marshall has closed it and it's not opening up. I'm sorry.
I do too. Yeah.
So, you know it is?
I'm glad you have food.
There's a lot of dignitaries that still
Yeah.
We've got dignitaries that are still showing up.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
He would have let me in if I had had my. See, we are given an ID that has our official seal on it, and I don't have the document. I mean, I got my. Now I gotta hear that.
We live in a nation that has forsaken God. We live in a nation that has forgotten God. We live in a nation that is in great rebellion.
Exactly, that too. That too.
And now he's writing another one. This is an editing process now. Typically when it comes out every couple of months. So he's on his way to because he's like a cheap England, Europe. He's doing some good stuff, man. I wish you could have.
Okay, not a problem. Carlton Boyd, Carlton. The last name is Boyd, Boyd.
Now, Carlton, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Florence and Darlington, South Carolina, but now I live in Columbia, South Carolina, which is only an hour away.
And what brings you here today?
Actually, it's a tremendous experience. Of course, when President Obama was elected the last term, it was just a moment of shock, so to speak. I attended the inauguration, and I would be remiss if I couldn't attend this ceremony tonight.
So are you optimistic about the future?
Oh, absolutely. Very optimistic. Very optimistic. I think that's the only way that we need to be. If we're not optimistic, then we're basically just dooming ourselves.
So do you think the political system is broken?
I do believe that the political system is broken. And I guess in the way that it's basically taken over by money. And money pretty much rules everything right now. So there are a lot of people with the intelligence, a lot of people with the, not necessarily the resources, a lot of people with the knowledge, a lot of people with the experience. But if the money is missing out of that equation, unfortunately, they're left behind.
So when you look at President Barack Obama and the candidate Mitt Romney, what separates these two candidates?
Oh, wow. I really don't even want to go into it, but there's so many things. Of course, they're just sitting down, listening to the rhetoric between the two campaigns. I guess you could say President Obama's campaign, in my personal opinion, is based on facts. Based on what I've been seeing, Mr. Romney's campaign is basically based on speculation and a lot of sensationalism.
So what is the most important election issue for you in this cycle?
In this cycle, I guess because I'm a little biased dealing with the healthcare issues, being that, my background is in healthcare administration, and I work for a CBO, which is a community-based organization. Right now, there was just a huge move to see this healthcare bill passed. So right now, healthcare and just getting that ironed out is the hugest thing for me.
Any prospects on what you think this election results will be?
Oh, wow. Well, we just hoping the best for President Obama. And I think he's done a great job paving the way in the last 3 and 4 years. And I think you will actually see him reap a great harvest.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This would also appear on public broadcasting.
Marsha! Marsha!
Why are you hiding? Image right there. Yeah. If we can't see Obama, at least we ought to be able to see you.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, all right. Okay, Miguel, I'm going to ask you to spell your first name as well as your last name.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Miguel. Oh, I'm sorry, Miguel. M-I-G-U-E-L-C-A-M-A-C-H-O.
Okay, Miguel, where are you from originally?
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay. Miguel, what is the most important election issue for you in this cycle?
The most important issue to me is for jobs. Creating a situation where Americans can get jobs again.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Yes, I am. I believe once Barack Obama is reelected, that obstructionism will have to cease to exist, and everybody hopefully will move forward to make this country, work again.
Now, of the two candidates, Mitt Romney and President Barack Obama, what are some of the other issues that separate these two candidates?
Well, really, the main thing that separates them is Barack Obama can relate to the average person. Mitt Romney comes from a class of privilege, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being successful, nothing wrong with coming from a family that has a strong financial background. But the average American cannot relate to that. Barack Obama's story, just like Castro's story and other people's story, is more like the average American, and they can relate better.
So you are optimistic about the future?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Very optimistic about the future.
Good job, Miguel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, sir. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself, okay? In the gray suit. I'm trying to see what I know him from. I forget his name. Right there. What is his name? Oh, you ready? Okay. All right, spell your first and your last name.
Kevin, K-E-V-I-N, Parker, P-A-R-K-E-R.
And Kevin, where are you from?
Washington, D.C.
Kevin, what is the most important election issue for you?
Jobs in the economy, housing, education. All of the things seem to be wrapped up into one, and they're inextricably linked.
Are you optimistic about the future?
I am. I'm very optimistic. I think that as we look to invest in infrastructure and we get America back on track and we get people back to work and get our schools on track, I'm very optimistic about what the future holds.
And Kevin, do you think the political system is broken?
I don't think it's broken, but it's fractured. I think that we need to figure out how we heal it so that we can move forward in unison. And not that we're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but I think that we need to figure out how to cooperate better to get more accomplished.
Okay, and finally, Kevin, of the two candidates, Mitt Romney as well as President Barack Obama, what are the issues that separate these two candidates?
I mean, I think that one of the true issues that separates the candidates is the compassion about what they do. I think that one has really been, and President Obama has really been part of the people and has seen firsthand what poverty does to communities. And I think that he has worked vigorously to try to eradicate that where possible. I think he also knows what the benefit of education does to lift up a people and a family. And I think that those are some of the things that are missed in other candidates, especially in Mitt Romney.
Good.
Sure, you can email me at Kevin, K-E-V-I-N, at CCG, Charlie Charlie George, -DC, District Columbia.net.
Okay.
You might want to. Hey, sir, this is LA. Okay.
We're out here.
All right, just hold tight. We should be coming on in about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to go on and try to connect to the station right now. So hold tight. Okay, buddy.
Testing 3, 2. Yeah, so we're just gonna be in this little section right here.
Okay.
Chanting occupiers. This intersection, it is a sweet spot for them because it is where the big-time politicians, the network anchors, have all been crossing back and forth all day. But I'll tell you what those protesters really want to do is follow those guys down here through this barrier to Time Warner Cable Arena. Police, though, Secret Service, they were never going to let that happen. And when that became apparent to protesters, they moved on. They went down about 2 blocks, chanting and going south that way. But after one amount of time, they broke out from there too. We will keep you posted on their progress. For now, we are live in uptown. I'm listening in WBTV. Here's up.
There goes, what's his name? Get him. Join brother.
Didn't see anything else occur.
Hold on, Termel. I'm connecting right now. Hold on.
Let's sit down someplace and talk about
Just a second.
That is no problem with that. She just always looks good. There it is. Ebony Jet, that's what she said.
Yes, Larissa. Thank you, Meredith and Larissa. Once again, I am in Charlotte with Florida State University's WFSU News Director Tremel Gomes. Now, we continue to explore convention newsmakers this week, and I am examining activities outside the convention hall in Charlotte, and WFSU's Tremel is inside the convention arena, and I am at the corner of East Street and North College Street. I'm near the Time Warner Arena, where things are relatively calm. Now, Courtney and I have been tracking the movements of President Barack Obama, and we understand that he has arrived in Charlotte. And Courtney, Christopher Page is here to tell us more about the president and his motorcade.
And thanks so much, LA. Basically, the president got here a little bit after the 1 o'clock hour, our time in Mississippi. Once he arrived here at the Charlotte International Airport, he was greeted with about 20 to 25 spectators that got a chance to get autographs as well as have a photo op. He was then taken away from the international airport and was whisked away to an undisclosed location, but he is here in the metro area, and the small crowd that was on the scene, they were delighted to actually get a chance to see a presidential motorcade. LA?
All right, thank you, Courtney. All right, and Larissa, we're going to now, as I said, things are relatively quiet here, and it is, the weather is far different than it was yesterday. Today it is partly cloudy, and we're going to have more on the weather update shortly. But let me first turn over to Tremel. Tremel, what is happening inside the convention area where you are? Okay, now, yeah, and Tremel, along with San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro and former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland, Michelle Obama made a passionate plea for her husband and cited his accomplishments over the past years. Now, AP correspondent Sagar Magani reports. Then you can hear it now. Now, Tremel, now you've heard that. Now, what do you think about those three individuals on the stage last night? And as an addendum to that, Tramiel, I have heard where one person said that she was very distraught that she was not going to be able to attend tomorrow's event at the stadium, and she decided that she was not going to even vote. But by and large, most of the people understand that the weather situation was an uncertainty, and that they will actually be involved in spite of the fact that it will go to a smaller venue. And also, moving on, Tramiel, the counterattack is expected to be at full throttle tonight when Senate candidate Elizabeth Warren takes the stage. Now, she is vying to unseat Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown. Now, we will also, as you mentioned, hear from former President Bill Clinton, and it is important to note that Clinton will be going up against the opening game for this season's National Football League, the New York Giants battling the Dallas Cowboys, and those are two major media markets, so people are wondering whether or not the Democrats will be able to capture the kind of audience. Now, aside from that information and from that gridiron matchup, should the Democrats be careful about the appearance of fomenting class warfare and other divisive issues? Well, we'll certainly be tuning into that. And also, Meredith and Larissa, WJSU caught up with Vicksburg Mayor Paul Winfield, who is a delegate at this year's convention. Now, during our convention here in Charlotte, he had some advice for those back home in the Magnolia State. Okay, and that is going to do it for now. We've seen different people out here, Roland Martin, CNN, and other luminaries, but we will continue to provide you with more convention coverage later. And also, I want to thank you, Tramiel, for your insight. Okay, well, Tramiel is the news director for WFSU, which is our sister station, and an NPR affiliate at Florida State University located in Tallahassee. Now, if you want to review Tramiel's Twitter posts, check out and follow Tramiel at Tramiel G. That is TRIMMEL G on Twitter. Back to you, Meredith and Larissa. Oh, it's pretty festive, actually. And as I said before, Larissa, I haven't come across any protests in this area closer to the Time Warner, because it's really cordoned off, for one thing. And there were some other protests in the area where I was yesterday, where they're still talking about abortion and some of the other issues, social issues that had something that the Democrats have been dealing with, as well as the Republicans, for that matter. But the energy is pretty nice. The weather is really great. Everyone seemed to be having a really fun time. So we're doing good right now. Okay. First of all, why don't you spell your first name first?
Chrishad, CHRISHAD.
Okay, your last name?
Butler, BUTLER.
Okay. All right. Now tell me, what is your full name and where you look? Okay, we'll go to number two. Mm-hmm. Okay, what city are you from? What city are you from anyway?
Well, did he?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay, well,
okay.
Let
me just start over.
That's part of number one, but
that's part of number one. Okay. First of all, just tell me, what city are you from?
From Charlotte.
Now, what is the most important issue to you during this election?
The most important issue for me would be just the economy, just putting people back in jobs.
And are you really hopeful about the future?
I am hopeful about the future.
And what is the most important issue that you think, besides the economy, that you think will make you decide who to vote for in this election?
It's a multitude of different platforms that I would like to delve into, but for the most part, just the economy and education. Just giving everyone an opportunity, fair chance at anything that's possible here in the United States. Presidency, Senate, you can go from industry, marketing, and you can also go to manufacturing. We've got a lot of jobs that have been pushed overseas, but we need to start keeping those jobs here in the United States so we can continue to have the recycle of capitalism here in the United States.
Now, do you think the political system is broken?
I feel it is partially broken, but I do think we have the right pieces in place to make amends.
And who do you think? What do you think that piece is?
The piece is the right leadership. Starts at the top and it works its way down. Of course, you know, we all definitely here at the DNC would love to see Barack Obama do it again, and of course, the congressman and Mayor Anthony Fox here, Governor Bev Perdue. So we definitely want to keep those people in office and keep them here for our better interests.
Good job.
You guys have any business cards on you?
Yeah, let me get one. Hold this.
No, they try to. I got some people. Oh yeah. So I don't know. I'll see how they do.
And the whole time you're gonna be looking at him, just like you're having a conversation.
Oh yeah. The first name is Max, and the last name is Wendroff. M-A-X, and the first name is Wendroff. W-E-N-D-R-O-F-F.
Now, where are you from?
Ivy, South Carolina.
Now, are you hopeful about the future?
Oh, are you kidding? No, hell no. There's no way. No way.
Well, what is the most important issue for you in this election?
Well, actually, most important issue for me, well, I think anything that's done won't affect me, like health care, Medicare, Social Security. It won't affect me. But, I'll tell you the truth is, I think if the Republicans get in office, it's going to kill this country. Kill it, And the problem is that even if any Republicans get in office, because the thing is, no matter what Barack Obama says, right or wrong, they'll disagree, because the Republican Party has absolutely no character. What do I mean by this? If one vote goes one way, the whole Republican Party will follow. Nobody's going to leave the herd. You know what I mean? They don't think for themselves. One guy who thinks for them, and everybody else follows.
So just listening to you, you would say that the political system is broken, and if you feel that way, then how do you suspect that we should even fix it? Well,
the only way you can actually fix it, well, like Mark Twain says, the best system you can have is a dictatorship, as long as you got the right dictator, you know. So what you have to do to fix it is get rid of all the Republicans, every single one of them, you know, and start from scratch. And that's not going to happen, you know, because, you know, like, Democrats believe strongly, and so do Republicans.
So you pretty much go for a one-party system?
Well, one-party system, in this system I would, right now. Right now I would, because that's the only way it'll work, I think. But basically, you know, I mean, overall, a one-party system is not the way to go either. You know? The one-party system is almost like a dictatorship, you know.
And I assume that you were saying that in jest in terms of a dictatorship.
No, not there. That's why China gets things done, because it's a dictatorship. And you know, you do it my way, or you don't do it at all. You know, you look at a country like Korea, North Korea. I mean, yeah, despite how poor that country is, I mean, they get things done in their own way. I mean, here's a country that people are starving to death, the majority of them. And here's a leader that's building bombs, you know, nuclear weapons, building up an army. And, you know, it's not the right thing, but he gets things done.
So do you think that democracy is at the very bottom when it comes to all the political systems?
No, not at the very bottom at all. But the thing is, sometimes democracy works and sometimes it doesn't. It's not going to work in Iraq. It's not going to work in Afghanistan. And basically that's what they're trying to do. And you watch, the day America pulls out, I mean, Afghanistan is going to fall exactly like South Vietnam did. Exact same thing, you know. The only problem is with these people who are so stupid, these Taliban, whatever it is, all they got to do is wait, you know. They get together, they form their plan, and wait till America pulls out. Now, the only way America will pull out faster is they think things are running smoothly in Afghanistan. So the Taliban should wait, don't do anything, and let people think that things are running smoothly. As soon as they pull out, they'll let the world know how smooth things are going. You know, that's the plan. But the thing is, you know, it's so dumb, you know. Like a lot of people say, you know, the Americans are stupid. They really are. It's beyond my belief how stupid Americans are. I mean, here they are. They got a guy like George Bush who sends all these troops over to catch one man, you know, and here they're talking about Obama. And they don't say anything about Bush, you know. I mean, this guy Bush screwed the country up so fast in his 8 years. I mean, it's impossible to fix it in 4 years. And basically, Barack Obama's got to waste his time going out and campaigning when he should be out there running the country. But that's the way it is. Now, it's not going to get any better. You know, I mean, you take like rock and roll. It had the golden age in the 50s, early 60s. You had... you had other thing, but the housing market, it was great in the 70s, 60s. But the way things are, it's not going to get any better at all, you know. In fact, it's going to get worse, you know.
Well, we appreciate your comments. Thanks a lot.
Let me know about that.
I'm going to have you to give me your first name and your last name. I want you to spell your first name and your last name. Spell your first name and last name.
Okay, Jacqueline, JACQUELINE, WILLIAMS.
Anytime you're ready.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I would like you to tell me where you're from.
Washington, D.C. area.
Now, what is the most important issue for you during this election?
The most important issue is education and basically making sure that the president is able to have a second term so that he can really follow through on all of his initiatives.
Okay. Having said that, are you hopeful about the future?
Absolutely, and even more hopeful now that Barack Obama is in office, and we're hoping that he remains in office.
And as you look at the political system, do you think it's broken right now?
I think that it has been broken for a long time, and that Barack Obama has brought the type of change to Washington that we need in order to repair it. And I think it's gotten better over the last 4 years.
Now, if you could fix the system yourself, what would you do?
What would I do? I would probably revamp the electoral college process, and probably make each vote count, one man, one vote, rather than state-by-state electoral process. That's probably what I would change.
Good job. Thank you. Spell your first name and spell your last name.
Okay.
And then
My name is Adrienne Hollifield, A-D-R-I-E-N-N-E, Hollifield, H-O-L-L-I-F-I-E-L-D.
Now tell me, Adrienne, where are you from?
I'm from Black Mountain, North Carolina, teaching high school there, and I have my journalism students here with me.
Well, good. Good to have you. Now, what is the most important election issue for you?
The most important? A lot of things are important. I do think jobs are important, but I don't think that they're Obama's fault. He inherited a situation where jobs failed, and he did the best he could to try to increase the number of jobs being gotten. I would love to see Obamacare continue. I don't want it to be repealed. I think we needed something even more significant than that. I would like to see education be more on the budget issues instead of falling apart all over the country.
So having said that, are you hopeful about the future?
I am hopeful about the future. I think we are better off today than we were 4 years ago when the country was on the edge of collapse.
So as far as the political system, broken or unbroken?
I believe that people are so polarized that it's hard to get anything through. And when you have a whole bunch of people in Congress whose idea of being a legislature is it's my way or nothing, I don't think a lot of things get done. In that respect, I think it's broken. I think if we get people who understand that compromise is the way of doing things, then I think that it won't be broken.
So you're here because you think President Barack Obama is the man for the job and can keep the system from being broken the way that some people contend?
Yes, definitely.
I want to ask you to give me your first name and last name and spell both of them.
Okay. Look at the camera or you?
You look at me.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, spell your first name and last name.
My name's Derek Holtzman, D-E-R-E-K-H-O-L-T-Z-M-A-N.
Okay, Derek, where are you from originally?
Kansas City, born and raised.
Now, what is the most important issue for you in this election cycle?
Because I'm a student, it's definitely got to be what President Obama has been doing for student rights, both in terms of Pell Grants for college kids and just through general K through 12, whether that's supporting teachers, improving their conditions, their wages. I really think education is a great path to our country's future, and if we teach our youth, then that will make our country more prosperous and we'll have a better potential in the long run.
So given all that you know now, are you really hopeful about the future?
I really am. You know, I'm feeling good. As you look around on these streets, you see a bunch of people who really, strive towards a great future for our country. And just the energy around here, you can't help but feed off of it and realize that I think our country's going to do pretty well as long as these people are still coming and still, speaking their opinions and still doing good for us.
So what are other young people saying like yourself about this election?
I think it's really hard to generalize young people. I know, you have hit or miss. You have people who really recognize what President Obama has done for our country, and you also have people who, are getting out of college and can't find a job and they're frustrated, and it's rightfully so. It's easy to be frustrated when you're told you're supposed to go to college and then you come out of college and you get a good job. So I think the youth is kind of split, but I think we're hopeful. I think we can see it and we know where we want to be, and I think we have the willpower as young-minded individuals to get our country there.
So you are an optimist. Do you think the political system is broken?
It has its flaws, sure, but I think any system has its flaws. It's impossible to create a perfect system. As far as saying broken, no. You know, when we compare our country versus other countries that I would classify as broken, you know, we're doing pretty well. There are certain things that I would like to have changed, and there are certain things that I'm pretty sure everybody on these streets would like to have changed. But we're never going to get there because it's all about compromise, and it's all about, you know, the greater good, and it's not about the individual and the individual what they believe is the correct path, but it's collectively what we feel is best for all of us.
So what separates the two people at the top of the ticket, Mitt Romney as well as President Barack Obama?
I think one focuses on the past and one focuses on the future. And I think that's probably the most telling aspect of all of this is sometimes we can look to the past to have a better future, but it's easy to be stuck in the past and to see what we did in the past and to just try to emulate it and try to stay out as a status quo, when really, as a country, since our beginning, we've always been pushing ourselves, and I think that's what we have to continue to do.
Good job, dear. Hey, good job. I'm just asking about if you have any hopes for the future.
Okay. We're ready. Okay. And the whole time you're going to be looking at him, you already know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you to spell your first name and your last name.
Okay. My first name is Ashley, Ashley, and my last name is Jeter, Jeter.
And where are you from originally?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Now, what is the most important issue for you in this election cycle?
Well, I just graduated from Hampton University in December, and my most important issue is student loans. I cannot afford for them to double the interest rate, because I'm already trying to I'm already trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for student loans right now. So I can't imagine paying for them if they double. Like I'm already in debt as it is to begin with.
Well, President Barack Obama and Michelle said this last night, that they accumulated so much debt, but they wanted to be an encouragement to all of those who are going through the same thing. And I don't know if you saw her speech, but that should hopefully give you some kind of inspiration.
Yeah, I really hope President Obama is reelected, because I feel safe, I guess, yes, safe for the future. Like, my future is secure if he's reelected, so.
Beyond that, what do you think? Do you think the political system is broken?
No, I don't think it's broken. I think it's getting fixed. Well, it was broken. I think it's getting fixed now with President Obama, and I hope he gets 4 more years. But I think he will. I'm pretty reassured. Like, being in the area, like, everybody's pretty positive and encouraging. So I think he'll be reelected.
Just based on that, it seems like you are really hopeful about the future.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, especially after Michelle Obama's speech last night. Like, who can't feel like? Who doesn't have positive thoughts about them? Like, how can you not like her? So.
Good job. Hey, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, news is. You can't, like, I'm told.
I have it's like business for everything.
Well, we have I'm the news director for NPR, and we have entertainment, and I have students who work with me and do entertainment and that kind of thing. So.
Where are you based out of?
In Jackson State University. That's where we're on the campus of JSU.
Oh, okay.
Jackson State University.
Do you have a card?
I do. I put it in your last name. Spell it? Yeah, I'm going to have you spell it and give me your last name and first name. And,
ready.
Okay. All right.
Tony Hall, TonyHall.
And where are you from originally, Tony?
Originally, I'm from Springfield, Virginia, right outside Washington, D.C.
Now, what is the most important issue for you in this election cycle?
I think, student loans, definitely something that affects me, being a recent graduate from school. So making sure that, as somebody who's just starting their professional career, somebody who's just getting started trying to establish their financial security, policies that actually help me and help those who are in my situation who did graduate with a little bit of student debt but are still trying to, be, good citizens and be citizens that are producing well for our economy.
As a recent graduate, are you hopeful about the future?
Yeah, I'm definitely very hopeful about the future. Michelle alluded to a lot of it in her speech last night, saying that when her and Barack first got married, they did have a lot of student debt themselves, so that's a familiar scenario, you know, and it's a lot easier to identify with somebody who's been in my own shoes as opposed to, you know, somebody who may have been born with a silver spoon in their mouth or who hasn't necessarily had to worry about money problems throughout their life.
So, do you think the political system is broken?
I don't think it's necessarily broken, but, you know, government is something that's very, very big, and it does have like a lot of moving parts. So oftentimes the little guy does get, you know, not necessarily pushed to the wayside or ignored, but he kind of gets lost with all the things that are going on. And you have to understand that as a congressman, you know, if a bill comes up that is giving you money for your constituents back in your home state, you're not necessarily going to say no to that bill, even if, you know, it may or may not be doing something that's benefiting the whole. And I think that oftentimes people are very, very nearsighted, even though, you know, going forward we do need to be able to focus on the future, I think.
And finally, what is the biggest difference between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama in your viewpoint?
In my opinion, you know, I mean, one started from the bottom and made it to the top, and the other one started at the top and made it to the top. So I think that, you know, not to say that their work ethic is, you know, different. Both of them are very, very hard workers and definitely have done, you know, their fair share of work to get to where that they are today. But it's just like one of those things where you look at one individual and you can identify with them a little bit more than you can with the other. And I mean, at the end of the day, Barack Obama, he's just so cool, man. It's just like you want to be like him when you grow up. And those are the type of, you know, public figures that you aspire to be like. And when people are kind of shading the truth, or, you know, you feel like they're concealing or hiding something from you, you know, it puts you on edge a little bit about what type of person you'll be putting into it and electing into office.
You want to give us your email address so we can send you a copy?
Sure. It's TonyHall89@gmail.com. That's TonyHall89@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
No, we were NPR station.
We're with an NPR station. Yeah, we're just asking a couple of questions about, are you optimistic about the future, that kind of thing. So.
It lasts 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
I will look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to ask you to spell your first name and your last name, and we'll start with that.
Okay, my name is Timothy Bryant, Timothy, Bryant, Bryant.
And where are you from, Timothy?
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay. Now, what is the most important issue for you in this election cycle?
The most important issue for me is that it's the health care issue, because for the longest, Americans haven't had that, and the Republicans have tried so hard to defeat President Obama's signature achievement, and with them wanting it to go to the Supreme Court and all, and the Supreme Court ruled it as constitutional, and now they want to try to, I guess Romney's trying to repeal it once he gets in office, and that's the biggest issue for me right now. So we're trying to fight now to keep Obama in office so that could be a sealed signature on some of his achievements for Americans.
So are you hopeful about the future?
Oh yes, very hopeful about the future. You got to have hope, because if you don't have hope, then you're already defeated.
So having said that, do you think the political system is broken?
In some ways, I think it is, and especially now with the money that's flowing in, influencing different organizations and people in the elections. In some ways, I think it is a little broken, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. I mean, we're Americans, we're resilient. We can do anything that we want to do. We just got to put our mind to it.
And finally, what separates Barack Obama from Mitt Romney?
I think the passion for America. I can't see someone trying to lead America that has investments in other countries, the Swiss accounts and Bermuda or whatever his other accounts is. Because that tells me that if you don't have enough confidence into invest your money in America, why should I want you to lead me and lead this country?
What separates President Barack Obama from Mitt Romney?
For me, I feel that I can't really trust an individual that seems to have all of his investments into another country, Swiss bank accounts, accounts in Bermuda and different countries. And if you don't have enough faith in America to invest your investment back into America, then you're not worthy enough to lead America, in my opinion.
All right. First name and last name.
Oh, Willie Monroe, WILLIEMONROE.
Okay. Now, Willie, where are you from originally?
New York.
And what is the most important election issue for you in this cycle?
Jobs, health insurance, and that's mainly.
Now, are you optimistic about the future?
A little bit.
Now, do you think the political system is broken at all?
I think it's getting better.
Finally, what separates Mitt Romney from President Barack Obama?
A lot of issues. Middle class, health insurance, school. No.
Do you see Mitt Romney as having any kind of assets in terms of running the country, that is?
Some.
Okay. And what would you say those assets are as a leader?
I don't know, probably up the rich more. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
Three, two, one. In Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina, at the National 321. In Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Courtney Christopher Page, JSU 22 News Watch.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to ask you what's the most important election issue for you in this election cycle. What's the most important issue? I'm going to have you to spell your first name and your last name, and then I'm asking where you're from originally. Okay. Spell your first name and last name.
M-E-L-I-S-S-A. Last name is P-O-P-E. From Charlotte. M-E-L-I-S-S-A. Last name is P-O-P-E. From Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. Now, Melissa, what is the most important issue for you in this election?
Creating fairness across the spectrum as far as for our economic health in the country to improve the economy. So there's a great disparity between and a shrinking middle class. So I'd like to see strength in the middle class by creating more fairness across the board.
Now, Melissa, are you optimistic about the future?
I am. I think we've made a lot of progress. We just need a chance to let that progress go forward. And in 4 more years, President Obama.
Now, do you think this political system is broken?
I'm a little bit dismayed at this point. There seems to be a lot of opposition against the president and a lot of blocking of the progressing of his policies and decisions made way ahead at the beginning of his term to block those decisions. So I'd like to see some working together and some progress going forward, bipartisanship. And I think President Obama has made a concerted effort to reach out, but there's a lot of blocking of his policies on the other side, unfortunately.
Now, Melissa, finally, what separates Mitt Romney and Barack Obama?
I see President Obama as very empathetic to the middle class and those living around the poverty level and below poverty level. And I think Mitt Romney is very disconnected from the average American and is really only looking out for the welfare of those, really the top 1% of income.
Not my job.
And who are you?
I'm okay. Let me give you one of my cards. Okay. The email. I'm gonna give you one of my cards anyway.
Okay.
Okay. And tell me, give me your email address.
Okay, it's ALTF as in Frank, IT at AOL.com.
Repeat it one more time.
Altfit at AOL.com. Okay.
My name is ready.
What's your first name?
Every time you'll be like having a conversation.
Okay, my name is David, D-A-V-I-D, Pitzer, P-I-T-S-E-R.
Now, David, where are you from originally?
I grew up in North Carolina, was born in Chapel Hill, and I've lived in Charlotte for the last 26 years.
Now, David, what is the most important issue for you in this election cycle?
The most important issue for me is electing a man who can lead our country with character and integrity.
And do you have a lot of optimism about the future?
I do. I think that our country is at a crossroads where we have to decide whether we want to focus on ourselves, or whether we want to, as individuals, or whether we want to focus on the needs of our country and the world in a collective way.
Okay. Now, David, when you look at the top of the ticket for the Republicans and Democrats, Mitt Romney and President Barack Obama, what separates these two candidates?
I think that there are a lot of similarities in the two that, to me, make both have the potential to be very good presidents. The thing that separates them is that I think that Mr. Obama is willing to adhere to his principles and his core values, whereas I feel that Mr. Romney has not, that he has changed his beliefs to conform to what his party wants him to believe. I think he has the ability to be a better leader than he has been the last few months.
David, you should have my job.
I'm down here from Chicago a couple months ago. I have a health food service.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Okay. All right. We're based out of Mississippi, and NPR station. There's my card.
Now, do you guys do anything outside of Mississippi, like at all, or?
As it relates to
TV, like at all?
Yeah, like for example, this that we're doing, and we do a lot of things outside.
Anytime you're ready.
Okay. All right, Cordell.
Be looking at him. Yes, sir. Should I take my glasses off? No, you don't have to. No.
You can take them off. Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Cordell, I'm going to ask you to spell your first name and your last name.
Sure. C-O-R-D-E-L-L. Oh, C-O-R-D-E-L-L. Cordell McGary, M-C-G-A-R-Y.
Cordell, where are you from originally?
I'm actually from Chicago. I just moved here to Charlotte about 4 months ago with my business. So just kind of looking to see what Charlotte is, but I've been enjoying it to this point. So,
well, what is the most important issue for you in this election?
Well, when I look at overall, I try to look at character versus anything else, because issues are issues. So each politician, and we have to remember that they're all politicians, each one is going to pick on the issues that they think are the most divisive and most important to the people. To me, I look at character, and when it comes down to character, to me, Mitt Romney, no offense to him, he just doesn't seem to fit the type of person that I would like to vote for when it comes to what this election is about, like overall. I think that President Obama embodies most people and what most people deal with on a day-to-day basis. So to me, I relate to him more, irregardless of whatever the issue is.
So, having relocated from Chicago, are you optimistic about the future?
Well, I'm very optimistic about the future. I mean, when it comes to my personal future, I know that it's what I put into place that will work for me. But when it comes to a leader and what I believe a leader should embody and personify, I relate more to, and not because I'm a person of color, but I relate more to what President Obama is about than what Governor Romney is about. So, yeah.
And finally, Cordell, do you think the political system is broken?
It's been broken for years, brother. I mean, this is nothing new. I don't think President Obama or Governor Mitt Romney is going to fix it at all, but it has to be a step-by-step process to eventually get in the end to be able to fix it. So
if you were in charge, what was the first thing you would do to try to fix this broken economy?
The first thing I would look to do is to make it a level playing field amongst all people. I do understand that there is a separate dichotomy when it comes to rich people and the poor people, but what I would do is I would try to make everything as far as the education level and the health systems, I would look to correct those first, because it starts with education. And if you're not educated, you really don't know what to really do. And healthcare is promised to everybody. So, or it should be rather promised and entitled to everybody because you are a living person. So I would look to fix those first and go from that point.
Thank you very much for that.
Asking the same question again and let them give you the same answer. Okay. The ladies were passing by and then that truck passed by. I don't want to. I think it's over talking.
Okay, what was my last one? I was asking you how you fix if you were in charge. Okay, now Cordell, if you were in charge, what would you do to fix this broken economy?
Well, the economy is broken. I don't expect President Obama or Mitt Romney to actually fix it overall. It's not a 4-year or an 8-year problem. This is something that's going to take years to overcome. However, if you ask me, I would start with education and health reform. But those are two basic things that everyone, no matter what color you are, they need those things to have at least some type of base to be able to then think for themselves and go from that point.
All right, thank you.
Oh yeah, it's a great city and it's on the come up as well. So I'm
It really is. That's what I like about it. This is my first time actually being in Charlotte.
Really?
It's covering this, and I've seen some really great things, and it's really great.
Yeah, I mean, like it's all about service. So whatever I can get to Charlotte, I will gladly do, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And your family is mostly
aesthetically is beautiful. It has a lot of room for growth, whereas Chicago is kind of weak as period. So it's not really going to grow too much more.
You're in a good place.
Yes, sir.
I understand that anytime someone
Denver.
what's going on here.
Yes, sir. And it's interesting that I meet you from Mississippi because I'm looking to start a health and wellness tour very similar to what Dr. Ian did with the health and wellness challenge. And one stop we're going to make is Mississippi as well. Focused on health and eating. So, I mean, that's something that we do.
Okay.
So
Well, I did I give you one of my cards?
I believe that you did. Let me just double check. I believe that you did. Like I gave you mine as well, right?
Right, you did.
And your first name again was
LA.
This is Benjamin Trigani, BenJamin. Last name's Trigani.
Benjamin, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Now, Benjamin, what is the most important issue for you in this election?
I'd probably have to say the debt, the national debt that we are now in. That's the biggest issue, in my personal opinion.
So, having said that about the debt, are you optimistic about the future?
I think optimism will be the only path to get out of this problem. So yes, I do believe I'm quite optimistic about the future.
And of the two people at the top of the ticket, President Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, what separates these two individuals?
Just their overall viewpoint of the economy, their overall viewpoints, their morals, ethics, just pretty much their policies. I apologize for that. Pretty much that's all that can really come to mind at the moment.
Is the political system broken?
I don't believe so. But there's always room for change and for innovation to its most.
Are you here representing anyone in particular?
I'm here representing Stetson University, which is in DeLand, Florida.
And I think I noticed pro-choice on the back of your...
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
pro-choice.
Right.
And pro-LGBT.
Okay.
Rights.
So, having said that, and you know the differences in the two candidates, so I would imagine that does Barack Obama align with your beliefs and so forth? On
Yes, yes, most definitely.
Okay.
I'm full supporter of Barack Obama.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Your last name. Tell me your first name and then spell you ready?
Yeah, now, are you wanting to be in the shot?
Yeah, okay, come back.
Yeah. Y'all don't have to say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't have to
And
say
the whole
anything.
time you just look at him. Don't even look my way.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, no.
I'm ready.
Okay, spell your first name and last name.
Okay, Syra Royan, Seirah. Last name's Royin.
Spell your first name and last name.
Anna, Rao, last name.
And I'm going to ask you, what is the most important issue for you in this election?
I think the economy is the most important issue, and we have to figure out how we can come together as a nation and work together to grow the prosperity in the U.S. for all people.
And what's the most important issue for you?
Medicare.
Medicare? Okay. And I want to ask you also, are you optimistic about the future?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Medicare will be preserved, and what do you think needs to be done to make sure that it is?
When we are old, we need more prescription money, not our spending that much for the prescription, and every day they are increasing. That's the one.
Are you optimistic about the future?
I am. I think that we're in good shape, and change always takes some time to take place. So as long as we're moving in the right direction, I'm optimistic.
So when you look at the two candidates, President Barack Obama as well as Mitt Romney, what separates these two candidates in your eyesight?
I think it's more who identifies with the greater amount of people. I think if you're going to have a vision for this country, you have to include everyone and not just some people. And I think President Obama is doing that. I think he's looking at the greater good for the greater number of people. So I think he has a better handle on what most people need.
And same question, what separates President Barack Obama from Mitt Romney?
I like Barack Obama because he is so simple, he is so kind and everything. That is the main thing, And then at least we are so lucky he was the president,
Now, do you think the political system is broken?
No, I don't. I think more people need to get involved, and instead of always pointing fingers at who is messing up, I think we all have to get involved and do our part.
Do you think the political system is broken?
No, not at all, Every time when the election comes, they are talk one each other,
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, all right. Okay, Miguel, I'm going to ask you to spell your first name as well as your last name.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Miguel. Oh, I'm sorry, Miguel. Miguelcamaccho.
Okay, Miguel, where are you from originally?
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay. Miguel, what is the most important election issue for you in this cycle?
The most important issue to me is for jobs. Creating a situation where Americans can get jobs again.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Yes, I am. I believe once Barack Obama is reelected, that obstructionism will have to cease to exist, and everybody hopefully will move forward to make this country, work again.
Now, of the two candidates, Mitt Romney and President Barack Obama, what are some of the other issues that separate these two candidates?
Well, really, the main thing that separates them is Barack Obama can relate to the average person. Mitt Romney comes from a class of privilege, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being successful, nothing wrong with coming from a family that has a strong financial background. But the average American cannot relate to that. Barack Obama's story, just like Castro's story and other people's story, is more like the average American, and they can relate better.
So you are optimistic about the future?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Very optimistic about the future.
Good job, Miguel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, sir. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself, okay? In the gray suit. I'm trying to see what I know him from. Forget his name. Right there. What is his name? Okay. All right, spell your first name and your last name.
Kevin, Kevin, Parker, Parker.
And Kevin, where are you from?
Washington, D.C.
Kevin, what is the most important election issue for you?
Jobs in the economy, housing, education. All of those things seem to be wrapped up into one, and they're inextricably linked.
Are you optimistic about the future?
I am. I'm very optimistic. I think that as we look to invest in infrastructure and we get America back on track and we get people back to work and get our schools on track, I'm very optimistic about what the future holds.
And Kevin, do you think the political system is broken?
I don't think it's broken, but it's fractured. I think that we need to figure out how we heal it so that we can move forward in unison. And not that we're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but I think that we need to figure out how to cooperate better to get more accomplished.
Okay, and finally, Kevin, of the two candidates, Mitt Romney as well as President Barack Obama, what are the issues that separate these two candidates?
I mean, I think that one of the true issues that separates the candidates is the compassion about what they do. I think that one has really been, and President Obama has really been part of the people and has seen firsthand what poverty does to communities. And I think that he has worked vigorously to try to eradicate that where possible. I think he also knows what the benefit of education does to lift up a people and a family. And I think that those are some of the things that are missed in other candidates, especially in Mitt Romney.
Good.
Sure, you can email me at Kevin, Kevin, at ccg Charlie Charlie George -DC District Columbia.net.
To make sure that we all get to the food. And so, before we get ready to close out, I would just like